morning, welcome back to the channel. It's a bit early here, a little cold. About to take the C5Z out, do a little bit of a photo shoot. Figured I'd bring you all along, show you a little behind the scenes and come back and edit all the photos. So let's pack the car up and head out. All right, just pulled in. It's pretty early this morning, so not a lot of people out. No one up here at the top of the parking garage. Pretty much bring all my new cars here. It's a fun spot to shoot. It's pretty nice. First time being here at sunrise. Tried to get here a little early so I can get some nice lighting, and I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. So let's grab all my camera gear, get set up, and start shooting. All right, we're all set up, ready to shoot. I'm gonna kind of do my thing. Got the Osmo Pocket 3 kind of following me around here. Should be good enough. And I'll kind of talk you through what I'm doing, where I need to, and the rest of it's probably just gonna be a time lapse. So let's get shooting. I really just start by making sure everything's exposed correctly, making sure nothing's too crazy blown out. Got my histogram here on my screen, so just checking all the levels, getting all my settings dialed in before I really start getting all the nice shots. Seems like we have the sun right here in the background. That's nice. Made it just in time. Now I really just kind of get all my main angles first, get some bad shots, get some wheel shots, kind of front 3/4, a little bit of detail stuff. Really just whatever I feel looks nice in the moment. Got to remember to get some horizontal shots. It's always nice to have good backgrounds or some different style prints. You know, I mainly take vertical stuff nowadays just due to Instagram, and that's pretty much where I post all my stuff. But it's nice to have a little bit of variety. And my editing style lately has been a lot more on the high, or I guess low rather, clarity. So I kind of place the sun where I think it's going to be nice with a bunch of diffusion. Make the shots look really soft. Kind of bring in that nice glow into the shot. It's really all just by feel, a little bit of placement of the light. Luckily, it seems like we got here just in time. The sun's rising right over these buildings back here. Should make for a pretty nice light source. Always got to remember to mess with your CPL, get these reflections where you want them. Can't forget some nice wheel shots. I usually like to go pretty low, rest it on my handle down here, and angle it just a little bit. I think it adds a nice difference into the shot, front and back. I'll be going in a few different locations up here at this parking garage. I like to start here, especially now with the sun right there, and then I'll go down on the entryway to the levels from the top so I can shoot from up above, and then I'll probably do a few shots inside the parking garage. Try and get a little bit of a darker photo. Can always come around, get some interior shots, steering wheel, shifter. I always like to have something kind of in front. It's my foreground to keep blurred. Keep the picture a little more interesting. All right, I think that'll do it for this section. I'm gonna drive the car down and set y'all up for the next spot. Before I forget, everything today is being shot on the Lumix S1R2 photo-wise, and I've got the 24 to 105 on it. It's a f4 lens, pretty nice lens. I enjoy it a lot. I leave it on camera most of the time. Got a couple other bigger lenses, smaller lenses, primes, but this is kind of my workhorse lens. All right, just put the car in the second location. I'll give you a little bit of a view. So, kind of like to shoot from up top sometimes. It's a nice spot in a parking garage. It's always good. But I'll set y'all up. Probably won't be talking too much on this one. A little bit more of the same stuff as last time. And let's get started. Just finished up with the C5. Took a few hundred photos, so it's time for the real fun. Let's go home, start editing. Just finished going through all the photos. Started with about 800, got it down to about 200. I went ahead and uploaded all those into Lightroom, and realistically, probably only edited about 25 to 50% of those photos that I even put in there. But now that I'm all set up, I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all in front of the screen, give you a little rundown on how I make a preset, how I edit photos. Appreciate y'all sticking around. Hope y'all have enjoyed, and I'll show y'all a few of the edits at the end of the video. Here we are in Lightroom. I'm going to run y'all through a pretty simple preset, make some changes to this photo, and I'll show you how it can be implemented on other photos in the set. I'm going to start out dropping this exposure just a little bit, do all of our global edits first, raise the contrast, drop these highlights a little bit, and then bring these shadows way up. Jump into curves over here. Do a pretty simple S curve, super slight. And we can run down here to the colors. I'm just gonna go in here into grading. Start out, I want my shadows in this to be a little cool. Highlights, I bring them up to the oranges a little bit. Same with the midtones. Then we can come down here to the effects panel. Explained I kind of like a little less clarity in my shots nowadays. Give them a little bit of a glowy effect. Let's go ahead and drop that clarity down, as well as the dehaze just a little bit, diffuse a little light. See a little before and after. will really save all of the heavier lifting for the masking. So we can come in here, start out with a subject mask, bring this exposure up just a little bit, same with the contrast. Drop these highlights some, and then increase the shadows. Add another mask, throw in a linear gradient. I want to darken some of these shadows a little bit in the photo. I'm going to make sure I remove my subject. Then we can drop this exposure and then increase the clarity. Now we can move on to a radial gradient, bring it up here in the light. I want that center of the dot to be kind of where the light source is at. And draw it down towards the subject. I'm going to increase the exposure a little bit, as well as that temperature, bring it more onto the yellow side, just to give more of that sunrise effect, a little bit of a golden hour effect to it. And then I'm going to drop that clarity again, really make it look like it's glowing, as well as the dehaze, just to bring a little more diffusion into that corner. I want to bring a little more light into this and add another linear gradient. On this side over here, you can see the light's kind of reflecting off of it in the image. I want to highlight that a little more. Just barely bump that exposure up. And then I'm going to add another radial gradient centered on the subject. And then I want to invert that. And from here, I'm going to drop that exposure just a little more. Kind of draw your eye into the subject a little bit better. Give you a little before and after. Somewhat subtle, a little bit artistic though. Really draws your eye into that center of the photo where the subject is at. So from here, I can go to this presets tab, add one, just call it C5 test for this photo. I like to include masking in my presets. Quickens my workflow a little bit. Save that out. I'm going to find another photo just so I can show you how to apply that preset. Come over here. Maybe use this one. It's a little bit different, a little closer of a shot. Go ahead and crop it out. Go to the presets panel. Throw the preset on. Can come over here to the mask tab and just move these masks around a little bit to fit this photo better, and you have a much quicker pace on all the rest of the photos now that you've made that preset. And there you have it. That's kind of my workflow, how I make a preset when I bring in a new set of photos into Lightroom. I'll finish off the video by showing you a few of the photos on screen, and appreciate y'all watching.